Let's talk about sports, baby. From the stands of a sports fan, my man Pots and Pans, what's the deal? First story coming from NBCnews.com. Final Four. Men's basketball Final Four is down to the wire. The Final Four in the men's NCAA tournament has been set after a less than dramatic Elite Eight. The schools headed to Indianapolis next weekend are the number 1 Arizona Wildcats, the number 3 Illinois Fighting Illini, the number 1 Michigan Wolverines, and number 2 Connecticut Huskies. Yes. While this year's tournament has been lacking Cinderellas, the dearth of upsets means the 4 teams remaining are truly some of the best in the country. The top seed in the West region, Arizona Wildcats, have been cruising through the tournament after a 36-2 regular season. Arizona has won each of its postseason games by double digits with an average margin of victory by 20.5 points. Illinois Fighting Illini, finished second in the Big Ten this season and have been dominant in the tournament after winning its first 2 games by 35 and 21 points, respectively. Illinois took out number 2 Houston in the Sweet 16 and number 9 Iowa in the Elite Eight. Michigan Wolverines were the top team in the Big Ten this year and entered the Final Four with the emphatic victory over number 6 Tennessee. After winning by no fewer than 13 points in the first 3 rounds, Michigan unloaded on the Volunteers, winning 95-62 to punch its ticket to Indianapolis in the Final Four. And last but not least, the Connecticut Huskies won back-to-back thrillers to make the Final Four, surviving against number 3 Michigan State in the Sweet 16 before overcoming a 19-point deficit to shock number 1 Duke with a 73-72 win in the Elite Right. It was a crazy game that was, and we'll break that down. But you can see on the green screen behind me, this is the official Final Four men's basketball for the 2026 season. UConn versus Illinois. Then you got Michigan versus Arizona. This is happening next weekend, by the way. What was that? April 2nd, 3rd, something like that. Thursday, Friday. Anyway, the dates are right there. Everything is right there on your screen as far as, the bracket and, the most recent games at least. Who predicted that? I did have Michigan going all the way to the national championship. I will say that. And I still have that predicted. I actually got Michigan winning it all. Especially at this point. They ain't got to go against Duke or nothing like that. Oh, it's on and popping for Michigan. And then that UConn that UConn game, man. Can we talk about that? Let's just get straight to it. So I want to talk about that UConn and Duke game, man. Probably the latest nail-biting thriller in the entire NCAA men's basketball tournament. So getting straight to it, this is coming from Yahoo Sports, sports.yahoo.com. All Caden Boozer had to do was hold on to the ball. If he did, Duke would be the ones headed to Indianapolis. Instead, after they blew a 19-point lead and gave up a wild game winner, the Blue Devils are headed home from the NCAA tournament early. You can say relatively early, right? After the Elite Eight. The number 2 UConn stunned the top-seeded Blue Devils and grabbed a 73-72 win at Capital One Arena in Washington, D.C. on Sunday night to make it back to the Final Four for the 3rd time in the last 4 seasons. That's all thanks to Braylon Mullins, who hit a ridiculous logo 3-pointer with just 0.4 seconds left on the clock. You should have saw this. I watched it live. Ain't no way I thought Duke was about to lose this game. UConn just slowly crept their way up, bro, and just end up winning. That's a prime example of taking your foot off the gas and getting too comfortable. And as a result, you can see Carlos Boozer's son, one of his sons, Caden Boozer. Now, he got the 2 boys, Cameron Boozer, who I believe a lot of people are saying is the better one, I guess. And then you got Caden Boozer. Now, basically what happened was Duke inbounded the ball. Caden ended up getting the ball towards, like, the 3-point line, and he tried to hurry up and pass the ball to one of his teammates down the court as well. It was 2 UConn defenders jumped up and basically just intercepted the ball. And UConn came down, got possession of the ball, and Braylon Mullins just threw up a ridiculous. I mean, literally, I was like, why would you shoot that shot, bro? You could have stepped up a few more feet. But he threw it up and blooded that boy. I said, oh my God. I ain't gonna lie, I screamed in the house. I said, yo, what? How did Duke just lose? It was still 0.4. Initially said 0.3 seconds, but they did a replay and then it said 0.4. They put 0. But I said, everybody knew that this game was over after that. I said, wow. Duke really lost that game. Duke really got put out. I really had Duke, I believe, going all the way to the Final Four at the least. But they didn't even do that. Oh, man. So, Caden Boozer looking kind of very disappointed. He put it all on his shoulders. He said, I ruined our team season. I don't think it's not all your fault. You can't put the entire game on your, you know what I'm saying? It shouldn't have came down to you. Y'all had a 19-point lead. That whole 19-point deficit comeback ain't your fault. That's a whole team thing. So it's a coaching thing. It's something y'all got to work on. Y'all boys did good, but it is what it is. I always say, as a man, it's only 2 reasons why you should ever cry in your life. When your mama die, and if you lose in the Final Four. Other than that, you should not be crying. Y'all didn't lose. Y'all didn't get to the Final Four. So, suck it up. Better luck next time. You're only a freshman. Don't declare for the NBA draft. Put that work in at Duke, and then get that championship next year or the year after or whatever. I ain't rooting for Duke. I'm a Michigan fan. But let me know what you think off in the live chat in the comments. Call into the show, 313-466-4386. What a tournament has been so far, I will say that.